Hello and welcome. You join us at the new Nissan Tekton's global premiere in India. Why India? Well, we'll get to that in a while. And along with the fact that since I don't have a cameraman, this is how we'll be conducting the proceedings, so bear with us. But in this video, we'll be talking about the new Nissan Tekton's petrol-inspired design, the interiors, the creature comforts, where the Nissan Tekton could sit in Nissan's UAE product lineup, and more importantly, who should buy the Nissan Tekton. I'm Yash, you're watching TCI, and since we are in India, चलिए शुरू करते हैं. So what does a petrol-inspired design mean? Well, you have very evident petrol-inspired design cues such as C-shaped headlights, C-shaped taillights, C-shaped fender design on the doors. So is a petrol-inspired design a good thing? Well, yeah, in the UAE, because as a non-spoken rule, you're automatically entitled to the first lane of every single UAE highway. That's brilliant. Though while the new Patrol has a sleeker, sharper profile, the Nissan Tekton's profile looks a lot more muscular, looks butch with those flaring over the wheels and even on the bonnet. And then it gets roof rails and cladding all around the car to add to that ruggedness. Plus it rides on 18-inch wheels and gets a ground clearance of over 200 millimeters. Design-wise, it certainly brings a lot of rugged character to the segment, and I respect that. Step inside the cabin and there's a whiff of premiumness all around, because you get this two-screen layout on the dashboard which is all angled towards the driver. Pretty good. You get a lot of physical buttons, especially for the aircon controls. Beautiful. Nissan, you get a lot more controls on the steering wheel, but none of them operate the audio controls, because for that you get a separate stalk. That's new and not something that we have seen in a modern car. And you get a host of buttons on either side of the steering wheel. On the left you have buttons for the aircon controls. On the right you have controls to turn off the ADAS systems and the parking brakes and the lights. Now in front I have a very vibrant screen, which is basically the digital speedometer. And on my left is an Android OS operated infotainment screen. The center console is basically accented with bronze accents. On either side you get a chunky looking gear lever. In front of it is a wireless charger, behind it is a slidable storage space, and then behind that you have even more further storage spaces. On the right side you have more storage spaces on the door bins, and the door handles itself are also bronze accented. And if that wasn't enough color, you have multiple color options for the interior upholstery. The one that I'm sitting in has white with burgundy or purple-ish scheme to it. Speaking about the colors, you also have ambient lighting across the doors and even on the dashboard. Now, in order to make the car look more airy and more premium, there's also a panoramic sunroof with retractable shade that is very good and specifically good for the UAE. Now, talking about the rear bench, you may have noticed that I did not use the traditional space or where the door handles are, because on the Tekton you get the door handles mounted on the C-pillar. Interesting details. And one detail that I forgot to mention about the front seats is that they are powered and get manual adjustable lumbar support and seat ventilation. Superb for a market like the UAE. But talking about the rear bench, I may not be the tallest basketball player out there. However, there's decent headroom for me. But the legroom is kind of really good, and especially because the front seats have been scooped out to make even more room for the legs to basically be stretched out. And then you have a good decent shoulder line where the windows start and end, and the recline at the back is also pretty nice. So for longer journeys, I see that as a fairly good place to be. Talking about long journeys, it also gets 3 seat belts and a center armrest with cup holders and space to put your phone. And while on the subject of safety, it gets a host of driver assistance systems, and it comes certified with Bharat NCAP 5-star safety rating. Now that's the boot of the new Nissan Tekton, and Nissan claims it has about 700 liters of storage space, but that is basically from roof to the floor. Now, I believe in terms of the general usage, that should be around 500 liters, and that's still pretty good. The only thing that you need to get your head around is the fact that it has a decently high boot lip, so you'll have to take that into consideration. But apart from that, not a lot of intrusion is happening from the wheel wells. That is a good thing because you have more of the boot space to work with, and the floor is fairly flat, and the seats are also in a 14:60 split, so you can actually put them down and create even more space. And you also get a parcel tray, so there's 2 levels of storage. As they say, there's levels to this Tekton. And to top it off, it also gets a automatic boot closing. Now when it comes to the mechanicals, Nissan at the world premiere of the Tekton unveiled that they have 2 engine and 2 gearbox options on offer for the world. But for the UAE, we are more or less likely 90% confirmed that we will only be getting the 1 engine option along with 1 gearbox option. And that is the higher spec T280 engine, which means 280 Newton meters of torque and about 160 horsepower with a 6-speed DCT gearbox and a claimed efficiency of 18 kmpl. Now, when it comes to pricing and trim and where it will sit in Nissan's product lineup, we have not been told the exact numbers and exact number of trim options available, so that will be mentioned to us closer to the regional UAE launch of the new Tekton. However, that is our pure guesstimate. Okay, let me pause myself here, as our guesstimates were soon fact-checked, because Nissan Middle East held a media roundtable right after the global unveil, where they hinted towards the possible launch of the new Nissan Tekton in the UAE to be around September 2026. Furthermore, they confirmed the new Tekton will be positioned right between the entry-level Magnite and the youth-friendly kicks, which means prices for the Tekton in the UAE should start under 80,000 dirhams. In terms of who should buy the new Nissan Tekton, I would say somebody who wants a little bit more character with their premium SUV, somebody who wants that visual confidence that the Patrol offers, but in a more city-friendly compact package. And it has all the features that you would want from any modern compact SUV, along with a host of personalization offers, be it with respect to colors or interior upholstery. All in all, it seems like a very promising product, but we'll have to wait more until we get to drive the car in the UAE. So what are your thoughts on the new Nissan Tekton, and will you be waiting for the regional launch in the UAE? Comment your thoughts below and we shall see you in the next one. Here's Yash from the TCI signing off.